yo, don't run now. Don't run now. You weren't running when you got that paycheck. Get back here. Coming up next, I give y'all a story on a driver, a transporter, y'all, who gets knocked off. And well, just listen up for the rest. But this guy has super bad charges. And we're going to get into it on the Corner Prison Talk Show. What up, what up, what up? We are back. Who am I? Jersey Street Corner, and this is the Prison Talk Show, people. Alright, so, by the way, if you came over here from the YouTube short that I dropped not too long ago, if you hit that link, I appreciate you. Everybody, do your boy a solid when you come in. Go ahead and tap that like button for me. Alright, and if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that too. You're going to want to be subscribed to hear these stories. So, today, I have a very interesting story for y'all, people. This guy's name is Michael. And Michael worked for the Irish mob. He was a driver. Something light. He, I guess you could say, wasn't involved in the day-to-day crime, supposedly. He didn't carry a weapon. He wasn't a tough guy. He was just a driver. Well, so he thought. Obviously, if we're having this discussion about Michael, he ends up in the penitentiary, y'all. Therefore, that should lead you to believe that Michael's actions were not just uncriminal. So, now, before I start this story, y'all, I know you saw the thumbnail. I just want to say that one of the biggest crimes in and out of America is, how can I say it on YouTube? Stealing women. It's a despicable, awful crime that needs to be put to an end. No one should be sold or kidnapped or any of that. Excuse me. So, I would just like to say I do not condone any of that. And neither did the people in the penitentiary. But we're going to get to that. Just stay tuned. Michael gets his orders from an underboss. He simply points him to the trailer that he's supposed to pick up, and he shows him where to drop off a trailer. As simple as that. Now, it could be different cities, different states, you name it. There are plenty of trailer parks and docks all over the world. And these guys, that's their job. Michael wasn't the only one. He's the one that just so happened to get caught this time. There was a sting operation going on, y'all. So, Michael had no clue that, he was involved in this operation. They used him like a dummy, y'all. They were watching Michael the whole time. They didn't have to watch the Irish mob to find out where the next drop-off was going to be. They had intel already, and they already knew that Michael was going to be picking up and dropping off. Michael was set to take a run from South Carolina all the way down to Tennessee, y'all. Drop a trailer off and pick a new trailer up. Now, I know y'all probably thinking, what are in these trailers? Well, keep listening. We're going to get to that. But it's very disturbing, y'all, which is why I'm going to try and hold that part of the story for later, if possible. Yeah, back to what I was saying, y'all. So now, Michael, he did this a few times, and he didn't ask any questions. He simply go, get his orders, and that underboss would give him a paper, a manifest, and show him which trailers he was supposed to be picking up and receiving, which ones he was dropping off, etc., etc. And that's just what he did, y'all. That was his job. He would do this day in, day out. He would even get overtime and work, late nights sometimes. And sometimes, I guess Michael did mention that he wondered why he was working at 1 and 2 in the morning. But then he got to thinking, well, I drive trucks. Truck drivers drive overnight. So he just stopped questioning it. And a few times he was driving his truck, y'all, and it'd be real late at night and dark out there in the road, and he don't even have the radio on, and Michael swear he could hear something. But it's a big truck, y'all, like one of them big old 18-wheeler joints with the, he got the trailer on back. And he swear he hear pounding and but when you in the front cab of a truck, you could barely hear that stuff. Like, I remember I literally bumped into the back of a truck before, me personally, and boom, crunched the whole front end of my joint up. But that back bar they got, he didn't even feel me tap him. Pause. My car was like, zing, and he just kept it moving. He didn't even know I hit him. But anyway, so he would keep doing this, and eventually they would, promote him. They was happy with his work. He was getting the job done. Delivery was on time. People was happy. No complaints. He got paid every week. He would go there to the truck yard, go see his boss, get his envelope, and he knew that truck drivers made a lot of money, but he started looking at things a little weird when he started looking at his envelopes. They was getting fatter and fatter, y'all. He's like, all right, I drove just as many miles this week as I did last week, so why do I got like a $10,000 bonus in my envelope this week? And he looking around to see like if the other drivers got the same thing, and he like, well, theirs look pretty much fat as mine too, so I guess it's normal. But the underboss was smart. He wanted them workers to keep on working, keep on trucking, because they bringing the bread in. Now, the cargo that they're hauling, y'all, is so diabolical, y'all. And like I said in the beginning of this is something that happens in and out of America, and it needs to come to a stop. These guys are carrying stolen people. Yes, y'all, stolen women in the back of these trailers. And they're trafficking them. And it's a sting operation in the progress, y'all. For every 10 that they catch, another 20 emerge. And it's sickening. And I personally hope that they catch them all. I hope they catch them all and put them under the prison. I hope they catch them all and they go to prison and meet the Punisher or the Finisher or Booty Bama Bang Bang. Anyway, let me get back to the story because I'm getting pissed off now just talking about Michael punk ass. Ugh. Okay, y'all, I guess you could say this is where the story takes a bad turn. I guess what they call a left turn. Because, honestly, up until now, in a court of law, Michael probably could have got off with not knowing anything. Up until this point right here, Michael had no clue what he was transporting. But Michael showed up to work early one day, y'all. And he caught them loading the women in the trailer. Yep. They're bringing the women in the trailer. They see bottles of water and blankets and all this other stuff. Food. And he's watching this whole thing happen. Then he waits on the side in his truck till it's time for him to clock in. And he rolls his truck on around to the front now. After watching that whole thing. And it wasn't all the trailers that were loaded with women. Some of them had regular goods in them. And I guess Michael was hoping that he just got a regular trailer with regular goods. But y'all, he went to his boss, got his paperwork, his manuscript for the day, manifest, and sure enough, he read the trailer number, and he looked over, and he saw that exact trailer was one of the trailers that had those women in it. Now, right now, it's up to Michael to make a trivial choice in his life, whether he's going to do the right thing and immediately alert the authorities of what's happening, or is he just going to continue work as usual? Well, sorry to say it for Michael, he took the wrong turn. He continued work as usual. Now, this time, knowing that people were in the back of that trailer, he was listening out for sounds and noises, and oh yeah, he heard them. He heard them all for sure this time, y'all. There was no doubt in his mind there were people in the back of that trailer. He could even have pulled that trailer over, y'all, and let them people out of there. But no, he said he gotta keep driving. He gotta keep driving to his destination. And well, out of the 100 women that was on that trailer, one of them was an undercover agent, y'all, wearing a GPS the whole time. Yeah, y'all. They had one of their own already involved trying to get picked up so they could see who was working for these goons. They wanted as much intel as they could get. Yeah, y'all. So, all she had to do was stay alive. And she did, y'all. And by the time that truck stopped, it was so many FBI agents waiting for Michael. Oh, they was ready to blast him, y'all. Unalive him in a heartbeat. Yeah, y'all. The only thing that saved him that day from getting blasted by the FBI was the fact that he did not deliver the cargo. He didn't take the truck where it was supposed to, y'all. He was having a hard time with that. But it was too late for Michael. He had already passed the point of not being involved when he drove off the lot with those women in the back. So, y'all, Michael would get taken into custody. Now, they didn't unalive him when they caught him, but oh my goodness grief, trust me, they put the beat down on him. That's the one that with the D and the A in the front of it. Not the beat down. The beat down of all times, y'all. Without breaking any bones, they beat the holy mess out of him. Yeah, y'all. Dragged him in that cell, let him get better, and beat his ass again. And that's only the police, y'all. The FBI agents. That's only the beginning. Because the journey that Michael has coming towards him, where they plan on sending him, is not going to end up very well for Michael. So, now, the girls would get out, and, you know, they were all happy to be set free. They didn't know where they were, why they were there. They were all drugged and, you know, starved, abused, and sold. So, the female undercover, she made it her point to go back. She said, nah, we're not done. She got her partner, got a few more officers from the FBI, said, nah, we are going back. There's more women on that yard. There's more trailers full, and we have to find them today. We have plenty of evidence. And well, with Michael being captured, he was a direct worker for the yard. He saw it with his own eyes, and they cut him a better deal to talk if he told them which trailers he saw other girls in. And he told them they had about 10 minutes to get there before those trailers start pulling off and going their separate ways. So now they got two squads. They going after the trailers, and the other squad's going after the underboss. Oh, somebody is getting arrested today besides Michael. Yeah. So in that whole little scenario, not only did Michael not do the right thing, but he turned to a snitch too, and when his back hit the wall. So without dragging this story on, let's get to the ending of it. That underboss, of course, got caught. He went to a federal penitentiary. I'm not sure how many years he got, but I heard it was up there, football numbers. Now, Michael, on the other hand, for his mediocre involvement, he got state time. He ended up in prison, right here with us. And well, they put him on the worst block in the prison. Because of his charges, he was on the same block with Booty Booty, Bama, Bang Bang, Carl, the Finisher, the Punisher. Yeah, y'all. All these animals. He was up there with them. Now, mind you, on their tier, they have a dorm just like us. They get locked down more than us, but they do have a tier. As soon as Michael walked in there, now they all have their own cells because they're all crazy and loony and they can't be together in rooms. They just can't coexist for 24 hours in a room together. Go figure. As soon as he walks in there, puts his stuff in the cell, Punisher walks up to his door. Knock, knock. And, they said, the Punisher always greets the new inmates. And he lets them know what it's going to be, what it is. And he like, listen, this is how we rock over here. I don't know if you get down like this, but if not, I don't know if you can stay here. And the Punisher shooting off all of their bad charges. Because all of them, if y'all seen previous videos, got crazy charges, bad charges. We're not going to get into that. Go check the videos out. And Michael, he's like, nah, I don't do none of that. Like, I don't grape nobody. I don't rob nobody. I don't do none of that. And they're like, well, we'll see about that. You're going to have to earn your keep. You can't stay in this pod if you ain't bringing nothing to this pod. Meaning if you ain't getting down with the get down, then you can't stay here. So Punisher walks away. Now, he gets up and he goes over to his cell door and he just looks out at the day room, y'all. And he see all of these big dudes, Booty Bama Bang Bang out there flexing, y'all, doing push-ups in the main room, y'all. He right in the day room doing push-ups. Bang, bang, bang on his knuckles. Yeah. Carl out there walking around looking creepy. Busting out his shirt. Boom. Just walking around Debo looking creepy. Scully down over one eye. Punisher just sitting there in the corner, smiling, just smirking like Joker or something. And there's a whole bunch more of them booty bandits in this pod. That's where they place Michael. For his crimes against humanity, for what he did, his choice to transport these women, they put him in the pod that they knew he would get abused in. And that's exactly what happened, y'all. I'm going to spare y'all all of the details, but y'all know how to finish it, dude. and they let Carl, the finisher, go first, which, by the way, was one of their number one rules. Carl always went last because he ruined it for everybody else, supposedly. Supposedly, that's what the Punisher said. That's what Bama said. That's what C4 said. All these dudes said the same thing. If you let Carl go first, he gonna ruin it. Ain't nobody wanting Carl seconds. That's why they call him the finisher. Carl famous for that famous line, "You ain't getting no grease today." All that crazy shit. And well, Carl finished him. And after Carl finished him, and none of the home team wanted him, they pimped old boy out. They sent him off the block. They kicked him off the block, y'all. They put him on the gate, and he still had to work for them. He wasn't even living on that block no more, and he still had to send them money. He was so scared they would find him in that prison and let Carl loose on him again. He continued to send them money, even from PC and lockup, y'all. That's right. Where there's a will, there's a way. And rumor is Michael's still getting his ass beat to this day by correctional officers, people in lockup. Anybody that come across him that has heard his story and why he's in there, they beating the hell out of Michael. I mean, raccoon eyes for breakfast. You won't do that again, sucker. Alright, y'all. With that, that's gonna be it. And I'm gonna get up out of here. I hope you like this story. Like, subscribe, share the content, y'all. Get at me. Let me know what y'all think. Get in that comment box. And I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out.